Welcome back to Behind the Boost. In part 2 of our chat with Ryan Cook, we dive into niching down the rise of ghostwriting and why the best agencies focus on one thing really well. You're working with a lot of things online. If you were starting a marketing agency today, right, what are the services that you would provide?
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm very bullish on ghostwriting, and not just of LinkedIn, but of all forms. Because right now, AI is booming, and I've found that with every trend, there's kind of a counter trend, right? Like with when Shein and Temu became the big thing, and you could get a shirt or pants for $3, all of a sudden people started really caring about quality, handmade, where is it being made, by who, right? And that wasn't the case before. And I feel like something similar is going to happen with AI, is that so many people are going to be posting everywhere with AI. It's going to become so obnoxious, just like those $3 pants from Temu, that the quality will become really important. And something that feels handmade, that was actually written by a person, is going to go a long way. So I think that's a really cool area.
I think that's so true, man. I mean, there's nothing better. I've known I could be a little bit petty, right? If somebody says Nick, if I've known somebody for a while and they like, oh, hey, Nick, I've got a question. And they spelled Nick, not NIC.
Yeah.
Right. I'll respond back with like, oh, it's like Ryan with an E at the end, But when I notice that somebody's written an email to me or a post and I see like a really long dash in it, and I can see that it's got a lot of things that purposely show that it's from AI, I'm naturally not going to pay attention to it. What are some of the things with ghostwriting that you're doing to make sure that it doesn't have this AI?
And it's kind of tricky because AI can write in any style you tell it. So it's probably a target that we're going to chase over and over, Today, people talk about how the M dash is like the obvious sign of AI, but as more and more people start to believe that, everyone will just start to tell their AI to not write with M dashes.
That is correct.
But I think just really personal stuff that an AI wouldn't say, It's hard to think of an example, but there's some things that you would text a friend that you chose to not include punctuation, or you put it on all caps, or you talked about something crazy that happened this morning that an AI just would never say. I think that little nuggets like that are really all you need to let people know that it's you.
It's true. And I mean, personalization is in everything. On my side, I know that when we're at conferences I like to teach, I'm going to say somebody's name 3 or 4 times within the interaction that I'm having with them. And naturally, they're going to end up remembering, oh man, that dude, he remembers my name. And I have serious issues with remembering somebody's name, right? But those types of things, those personalization can help you out a ton in these conversations. And when I'm, going through LinkedIn and learning about somebody, I actually want to see whether or not it's real. And you're correct. If somebody makes it personal, and it can be beautiful. It can be absolutely beautiful.
Another thing I'll say about that too, one of the reasons that I pivoted my own agency is that at this point, I have a lot of friends that are running really successful agencies. And it seems like almost all of them have 2 things in common. The first is that they have a huge social media following somewhere. And that can literally be anywhere: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. The second big thing that they all seem to have in common is a really specific niche. I'm sure big agencies like Boostability, you guys do SEO, but I'm sure that you have the wherewithal to do lots of other cool things. And when you say we can help with your email or whatever, people believe that because, you're awesome, you're Boostability. But when you're just starting an agency, if you try to be the best at 5 things like I previously was, you're going to get outbid every time, because everyone wants to know who the best is in X, and they don't believe that person is the best in several areas, just one.
You're correct. You're correct. And I mean, on Boostability side, there's a reason why we state that we are a white label SEO company. That's because we've become the masters of search engine optimization. The ability to work on 4.4 million keywords and all those types of things. You can only do that if you're really, unless you have like a team of 5 billion, right? But
Yeah.
you need to make sure that you're really good at that one specific thing, which is great. Now, tell me, ghostwriting, what made you say, I want to get into ghostwriting? I remember Ghostwriter as a kid, and there's this typing thing that came up, right? But I don't know. How'd you decide to get into that? How did that start?
Yeah. So, like I said, I was just getting outbid all over the place. I think the straw that broke the camel's back was I met this awesome lady on a flight who runs an e-commerce store, and I was pitching her on some marketing services. And I felt like I had a great plan. I gave her a solid price, and she signed on. And then just a couple of days later, she ended up reversing the deal. And that's not that remarkable. I think every agency has interactions like that. And even as with my pivot, that still happens from time to time. But my impression was that she found someone better at those services than me. And I know that because on Twitter, there's all sorts of people who say, I do this kind of marketing for e-commerce companies. I do this kind of marketing for lawyers. And you're just going to get beat by someone like that all the time if you're a generalist competing against a specialist. So that's partially why I decided to do that. It also came down to wanting to hire better talent. I was finding that, I'd have like these 4 Google Ads accounts, and when the employee who I had hired for those wasn't working out or not doing a good job, like I was always the one being tapped in to go and run that. And so it just got tiring. Yeah. So I felt like if I was already doing some ghostwriting. We were already doing some social media. And I realized that it's working so well for the clients. And if all of my employees have this same specialty, then hopefully I won't be the one picking up the slack when stuff doesn't go right. So that was really the impetus.
I love that, man. That's beautiful. And I do believe, if you can become the master of that one, you can achieve and help a lot of people out. I would love to know 2 things. What's a recent home run that you're proud of with your business? And then 2, what is the typical process look when you find a client? What are the things that you're looking for? Who's your ideal customer? How are you finding them?
I don't know if I would normally share this, but I posted about it in a spirit of authenticity. We actually just recently hit our highest MRR that we've had since we rebranded a year ago or so. We just hit 41K MRR. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah. Pretty exciting to be that, just because with Quartz, like I said, we were growing slowly and the profit margins were awesome, but it just wasn't growing very fast. Whereas that kind of growth in that short of a time, I worked hard for it for sure, but I feel like it's a really exciting milestone.
That's great. That's great. And good for you. I mean, everybody wants to get the 7-figure mark as quick as possible. And I mean, you're definitely on your way and creeping pretty dang close to that. So good on you. And I'm sure that you've got some proven processes in mind that help you achieve that. What are some of the things that somebody could expect if they were to work with you or partner with you?
Yeah. And really, I think it is a service that people need, and we have really low churn, which has been great, just keeping most of our clients. I think our ideal client, like I said, is someone who makes 7 figures a year or has a business that does, just because there's a bit of an investment into this, It's not something that you put $1,000 in today and get $1,000 back in a month. We're really building an audience for you, building an asset that will be yours forever, long after we're gone. So most of our clients know they need to hang around for 6 months or a year, but the typical path is that in the first couple of months, there's just, like one lead a month or so. But after that, clients start to go viral at least once or twice a month. They're just getting a lot of useful collaborations happening in the DMs, and they start to get, 5 to 10. Some clients even get up to 20 leads a month. They've been with us for 6 months to a year. So anybody who is in the B2B world, really, I think that's who we help. I really like working with clients who sell big deals that require a lot of trust. Just because ads and a lot of traditional marketing aren't going to work when you're looking for some kind of broker or franchisee. It's just so much trust that goes into that. But if you have a big LinkedIn audience and you've established yourself as a thought leader, of course people will trust you and want to work with you. It's just an insane advantage to have over your competitors.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. It has been an absolute pleasure to speak with you today and learn about the services that you provide and how you're helping people gain a voice online that they actually have in person. Because, you can't represent them in a wrong way. So it's really cool to see. Is there anything else that you're like, Nic, I wanted to hit this or say this that you'd like to bring light, or do you think we hit everything that you had today?
Yeah, it's been a great conversation, Nic. Again, thanks for having me on. Yeah, I guess my final thought would just be whatever business you're trying to grow or start, you should just find a hill that you're willing to die on.
Yeah.
Because it takes a long time. It's not normal for businesses to be profitable within several years a lot of the time. So that's from my clients who are multimillionaires and some of them billionaires. That's one thing that I just see across the board is that they did what nobody else was willing to do. And now they have what nobody else was willing to get.
It's very true. It's very true. And it's absolutely beautiful what you've been able to achieve and how you're able to help people with that voice. And I know that you're going to find a way to be successful. And I love the fact that you're representing Utah and helping kids as well around here gain that voice and understanding and how they can support people around the world, right? So thank you so much, Ryan, for coming on, and you have yourself an amazing day and take care of that family.
All right. Likewise.
All right.